Jones at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. And off we go from Denver. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They'll run here, the former Longhorn with it. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. They'll try and run again with Blue. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try to run for it with Blue. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys. 3rd and short, so didn't need much, but got a little extra on the backside. Nice run.
Chewed up the yardage, didn't he? To me, that was offensive line with leverage, good blocking angles, taking on a stacked defensive front. And once they chopped that little hole in the beginning, he took it and rambled.
And just the 3rd play from scrimmage, wanted to avoid the 3 and out and did just that.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
From the 41, here's a 2nd down and 4. Prescott off play action. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
On 1st down, it's Blue. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Pat Surtain up to make the play.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5. Now Prescott. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Yeah, the Cowboys are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Nick Bonito coming in there to record the sack. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Prescott on 3rd and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jake Ferguson from 10 yards out. And the Cowboys get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. That was a really good opening drive on a number of fronts. 10 plays, very methodical, set the tone.
So you know right now, if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're on the sideline saying, okay, what do we have to dial up in order to get off the field a lot faster, because both sides are out there for 10 plays, but one side comes off energized, and the other side comes off with some questions.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Here we go on the return from the 1-yard line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Broncos about set to go on offense. To throw is Nix. That's caught. It's Marvin Mims. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And he's going to have a Broncos first down. His good running gets him to about the 44.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They'll run on first down. It's Harvey. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a second down and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harvey. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Those are the types of run, Charles, that they say this first-year running back can provide a lot more of in the future.
He made it look easy, didn't he? Picking up that first down. Some have described him as a diamond in the rough with a lot of polish, nice little buffing. This guy could be one of the top backs going forward.
To throw, here's Nix. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On first and 10, it's Dobbins. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Now it's Nix. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Working out of the gun is Nix. And that is incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. The kick by Lutz is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Shreds him with a stiff arm. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
They go with Blue between the tackles. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now Prescott. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play with one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
On third down, they run with Blue. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Play fake. Here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Prescott. A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 22-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now a shotgun handoff. Blue. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Prescott now. Flush to his right. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He's got it. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Second and goal from the 1. Prescott. Oh, he stays up. And he will not get away. He's sacked back around the 3-yard line. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott as his guys are able to extend their lead. And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, that's multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Throwing Nix. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Nix to the air. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball, but I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a 1-score game if you can, and that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the 1st down.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. There was a little space there, yes, but that was a well-executed run by the rookie.
It was, and he wasn't one of the higher-rated rookie running backs coming out. He's probably on the next tier. But let me tell you something. If he becomes more consistent and continues to have that drive to be one of the best, we'll see more of that in the future.
And he's got this down to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Nix from the shotgun. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, that's certainly one way to beat the blitz. Get it out of your hands quickly and get it to the big fella.
Very effective. Saw the pressure, got rid of it, and the completion ensued. On play action, here's Nix. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to have it here just past the 25. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They start the drive with a give to Blue. 43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
To throw is Prescott. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. The Cowboys on third down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll roll him out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Well, every now and then you just absolutely outguess yourself. Third and inches, and they decide not to run the ball. You end up seeing the end result.
The end result was not good. They elect to pass, and it backfires. And the Cowboys going to bring on Brian Anger to punt on fourth down. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up first and 10 at the 41-yard line. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7. Here's Nix. A short throw to Ingram. Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the broken tackle.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Looking to throw. Nix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll go play action with Nix. And he'll get it down here to the 43. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
They work now on 2nd and 9. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 22-yard line. 18 big yards on that one and a Denver first.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And his throw is incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Nix finds his tight end Ingram. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 4 catches now on this drive alone. They can't stop him. It's another first down.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Touchdown! Marvin Mims, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have cut it back within a score. That pass also evens the ledger for the rookie quarterback. Had the interception earlier, and now he gets the touchdown throw.
The ideal touchdown-interception ratio is, what, 3-to-1 for the best quarterbacks? But he's a rookie. Just getting back to even is a big deal. Increases the confidence his teammates have in him as he tries to become their leader.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Kevontae Turpin now from his end zone. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. He'll hand this to Williams to start things out. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Looking to throw. Prescott. He finds his man. Complete. That's Ferguson. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Here's Prescott. He hits Blue. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
A couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Prescott to throw it. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. Here's Prescott. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Cortland Sutton, 54 yards. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Here's one deep for Pickens. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Third and 8. Looking to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Prescott from the gun. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll look to throw again. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Prescott yet again. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 27-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will tie things at 17 all. So they're able to make things level just before half and also leave very, very little time on the clock.
And I love the way that you phrased that. Brought a little soccer into it, and that's really apropos considering they just kicked a field goal to tie things up.
So still a little bit of time following the made field goal, but we are tied as the kick's away. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Nix. And that one too wide and incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw, here's Nix. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
On first down, Harvey. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 33, here's 2nd down and a yard. Up the middle they go. It's Harvey. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 52 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
To throw is Nix. This is caught. Touchdown, Broncos. Evan Ingram 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Broncos have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This taken in at the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Throwing, Prescott. He finds Pickens over the middle. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt, and it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Denver's offense ready to go again. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Off the play fake, Nix. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A handoff running left is Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Thomas on the return. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. The drive starts with a run by Blue. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 48 yards rushing for him now to this point.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Now Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
A great job there, and that old cliche, taking what the defense gives you, comes right into play. Nothing too out of the ordinary about the throw. Just a little dump off over the middle. But what is out of the ordinary is what he did with it after the catch. Not only did he grab the ball, but how about the significant yardage he picked up after he pulled it in?
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now they'll toss it here to Blue. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Prescott. That is caught, and he will have a Cowboys 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. Now the throw didn't give them a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Play action now. Prescott. Short pass taken in by Schoonmaker. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a 1st. And again, it's Prescott. He'll let this go for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone, but the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
So on 4th down, Prescott off, and on is Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal. From the right hash, this from 53. And this one is right down the middle. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. Here's Nix. On the slant, completes to Sutton. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Nix to the air. That is caught by Vele. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up second down. Off the play fake. Here's Nix. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 29-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Dobbins going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the third quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Broncos get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
2nd and 10 now. Third quarter action in Denver. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run up the middle here with Blue. And he will have a Cowboys first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
Time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessary. Times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Prescott to throw it. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 31-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when we decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
They hand it off. It's Blue. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott with a connection to CeeDee Lamb. And the Cowboys have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Throwing Nix. He finds his man, complete. It's Harvey, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins, and he is going to lose yardage here. See offense up a little bit. Third down and 10. Looking to throw. Nix. He'll get that complete to Vele. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
DeMarvion Overshown, the one to bring him down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 83 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Working out of the gun is Nix. Touchdown! Evan Ingram, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Broncos have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Yet another touchdown in what has just been a high-scoring affair, a fun one to watch. And it's the rookie quarterback, Charles, coming through with yet another touchdown pass to pad the lead.
Did we come into this game where defense was optional? Because it certainly feels that way, right? But when you look at the scoreboard, this rookie, He has his team moving at a little bit quicker pace than his opponents. The entire offense is going to get plenty of praise, but I think these coaches have to be especially happy with what their quarterback has done.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Drops it to Blue, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. Eluding the pressure right. Prescott able to get down there at the end on the slide, and he has the first as well. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Now Prescott. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield at man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Here's Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now Prescott on 4th down. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He hits Blue. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good. Solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield, goes underneath. Nice game.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway. Really well executed.
And Lamb going to have a Cowboys first down as he'll take this down to the 26.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. He finds Pickens over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. To the air again, Prescott. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
A terrible spot for a holding call as he'll try again, but now from further back on first and goal. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This likely a must-have, third and goal. They'll throw again. Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Jalen Tolbert from 10 yards out. And the Cowboys are able to cut into that deficit.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Two scores down, 2 timeouts at their disposal. This is a critical onside kick. And the Broncos are going to get the football. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Here is 3rd and 5. Another run here with Dobbins. And he is going to have the Broncos first, and that should be the capper. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.